and back. And just alternate here.
Okay, so I am here this morning with Jan Vlachi at JV Pro Fitness. So this is just one of the things, Jan, that we do when someone comes in for a fitness assessment. So I'm just going to ask you, after these lunges, somebody comes in after the summer is over, they've overindulged, they've eaten a lot, you know, they've kind of not been exercising, they come in here, what's the first thing you do with them?
So typically if you've never been active before, if you're just coming back in after the summer, usually we start out with an assessment. The assessment is just basically testing your strengths and weaknesses and just all the basics, right? Your planks, your squats, your lunges, your push-ups, your bridges on the floor, and adding a little bit of difficulty maybe with some plyometrics, right? Maybe some jumps, some isometric exercises.
And for those who don't understand maybe what plyometrics are, can you explain?
Yeah, so if you're more an advanced person at that point, even in the beginning, maybe a squat's not enough. So a squat jump would be a little more intense. Again, lunges that we just did there, you can actually jump out your lunges, on the one leg, or you can alternate your feet.
So after the assessment, you kind of tailor a specific routine to that person based on their needs and their strengths, is that correct?
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Okay. And how long does an assessment usually run for?
So the assessment, the initial meet is an hour. Usually the first 10, 15 minutes is spent just kind of talking to the person at exactly about what they are looking for in the program. And then the last 30 to 40, 50 minutes maybe is the workout, right? So I kind of get to know the person, they get to know me, and you kind of build that trust with that person.
Okay, so we just did the lunges. It's quite difficult to do an actual proper lunge without putting your knee forward. A plank, is that one of the things you do?
Yep.
Can you show me how to do a proper plank here?
Sure, yeah, come on down. So a plank is, I want to perfect your plank with your shoulders going over your elbows, right? You want to have a neutral spine position on this one and try to get your gaze to go just to the floor. You want your neck to be in line with your body. If you feel like your lower back is sinking on this one, maybe just pop it up a little bit, yep.
Okay.
And just hold it. I want you to feel like you're just kind of, almost kind of holding in your stomach.
Yeah, that's hard to do, I feel
that. This is tough. And you'll work on your thighs too as well. So, if you start to bend your knees, maybe your core dips a little bit on you. So maybe pick it up a little bit again.
Okay.
Yeah, come up a little bit.
Come up a little bit, okay.
There. It's going to be a little bit more challenging.
Okay. And how long do you get people to hold this for?
So again, everyone's a little bit different.
My arms are like shaking.
I'll hold you there for about 30 seconds.
Okay.
Again, if somebody's not able to go for 30 seconds, then maybe we drop after 10, 15.
And is this like a core exercise? I've heard people use a plank to strengthen their core.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, this is your core exercise for sure.
But I feel it in my arms too.
Yeah, all your weight's in your shoulders, so you're going to feel a little bit there as well. Okay. And what you could do a little bit to modify, if this is too much for you, you could take your knees down, take your toes up, and do the same thing. So really nothing changes in your upper body.
Okay.
Right? You just take yourself a little bit more into your knees. So kind of like a kneeling push-up to make things easier.
All right.
This is your kneeling plank.
Okay. All right, well, this is a plank, learning how to do it properly. Coming up, we are going to talk about how to keep your joints healthy when you're exercising. We'll come back with Jan at JV Fitness Pro.
Same leg, going for 10 and 10.
Okay, so this is just one of the exercises here at the classes that they offer at JV Pro Fitness. I'm joined by Jan again here. A lot of people say that gyms can be intimidating. They say, I'm not strong enough to get a trainer. What makes JV Pro Fitness different here?
Well, so a lot of the big gyms are very intimidating for sure because there's a lot of people usually in the classes and stuff. And so in at JV Pro Fitness, I cap the classes at 8 people. And so everybody knows everybody. It's a great environment, and it is not as intimidating. A lot of the clients do get their private attention. And it's a great workout always. It is a full body workout. So typically, even with this workout, we are right now exercising a reverse lunge and curl. So you're exercising your legs and biceps at the same time. And when you have your lower body and upper body working at the same time, you force your core to really get involved here. So it's a full body exercise.
Okay, and tell me a little bit about joint health and how people can make their joints nice and healthy, if they have knee problems, for example, or back problems. What are some of the things that you can help them with here?
Right, so that's all part of it, really. Strengthening your core is a huge part of, maybe lower back pain. And, literally just oiling up your joints with the full functional movement type exercises is the best way to do it. Having obviously more muscle mass on your body helps any tendons, any tired joints. So just a full body approach is the best way to go.
Okay. So coming up, we are going to talk in the next segment about how here at JV Pro Fitness we focus more on things like wellness overall as opposed to fads, correct?
That's right.
Okay,
Exactly.
we'll hear more about that coming up. Again, I'm joined by Jan. Tell me a little bit about this personal training session that's going on. You say you hold people accountable for their choices here. It's more of a follow-up, more of a personal relationship you develop. Tell me a little bit about how you build that with the client.
So, typically when somebody comes in, and they want to have a goal in mind, I try to book them in 2 to 3 times a week, depending on their goal, of course, but you try to book them consistently every week. So that they're consistent with their workouts. You try to hold them accountable to their food. So we discuss a lot of that during the sessions and after the sessions. It is really about the one-on-one attention, and obviously having that program tailor-made to exactly what you're looking for.
Okay, and there is follow-up, you said. So if someone is, having trouble or running into challenges, they can come and kind of get some guidance from you.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And even, if somebody even misses an appointment, we follow up with them and make sure that everything's okay on their end, or if somebody's maybe, lacking the motivation and aren't feeling really good about themselves, you kind of have the email support and all that for sure.
Okay, so we were talking a little bit before and you said you really don't like the word diet or any fad diets like that. So here, do you help people make more healthy lifestyle choices? Is that something that you do?
Absolutely. I hate the word diet only because it does have an expiry date on it. And, I believe, kind of like the personal training, that it is, it's a lifestyle. And I think it's something you have to have, 5, 6, 7 days a week almost, right? And so, again, it depends on exactly what you're looking for, but the food is almost more important than even the exercise. So.
Okay. All right. Well, coming back, we're going to talk about stretching a little bit and how to make sure that we don't pull anything, which I know I have a problem with this sometimes. So I'm going to learn how to stretch properly.
Okay.
We'll have that when we come back.
We're just going to warm up a little bit, get the temperature up a little bit, drive your knees up.
Okay, so we're talking stretching right now at JV Pro Fitness. Jan, tell me a little bit about this. What is this exercise doing in terms of helping keep us safe when we go out to exercise? So
what we're doing is a dynamic stretch. This is a very important stretch to do before any activity, especially exercises, especially the group sets. What we're really doing is warming up the body and moving at the same time. So not only are we stretching out our muscles, but we're also warming them up.
Okay, so this one would be good for something like if you wanted to go for a run or if you wanted to do any strength exercises,
exactly.
Anything really? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this is before the dynamic. Now let's do one for after. What kind of stretch would you do after you
Right, so
finish?
if you're done, if you're warm and you're ready to cool down, the best thing to do is then to do something like what's called a static stretch. So then you would maybe just hold, right? So you grab your toe, this would be your quad stretch, you would just hold. So the idea here is to bring the heart rate back down. Right, so the movement, the dynamic stretches are more for warm-up because we're getting our heart rate up. Here we're cooling our heart down a little bit, so we're just going to hold our stretches.
And how long would you do the cool down stretches for? What would you recommend?
Each side, each exercise, or each stretch should be about 20, 30 seconds, maybe. Okay. Usually, they say the longer the better, but 20 to 30 seconds is ideal.
So for people that say, I don't stretch, how dangerous is that for them?
Very dangerous. Especially I see it all the time, in sports too. I think a lot of people, go out kind of almost stretching with the static stretch prior to their exercise. And what you're really doing is you're cooling down already a rested heart rate, right? So you increase your chance of injury for sure at that point.
Okay. All right. Well, Jan Vlachi at JV Pro Fitness, thank you so much. I have learned a lot today. Honestly, I'm going to start stretching more. This is something that I'm going to commit to. So thank you for that. And so I think I'm going to go home and maybe eat a big bowl of ice cream and book a massage.